This is a quick video on how we're gonna do peer review, not just for this unit, but for the upcoming 3 units as well. So please make sure that you review the whole video and you follow the instructions so you know how to use Google Drive, how to do peer review, because even if you've done peer review in high school or in previous classes, our approach might be a bit different from what you are used to. So you'll start here on Blackboard, as you can see under Unit 1, Literacy. You already know, you've already seen the narratives that you are analyzing this week and the group activity worksheet, my emails, and you'll notice that there is a new folder here, it's called Peer Review. Let's click on that and see what we have in here. So the first one is a link to the folder, to the Google folder where you'll submit your first drafts. Okay, so I've already sent an email invitation to everyone in class using the Gmail address that you shared with me in your in the student survey. So make sure that you check your Gmail inbox for that invitation. There is a link there that will take you to the entire folder for all the 4 units, but here this is just a link for Unit 1 drafts, okay? And then here we have the peer review guideline that I'll go over in a minute, and then here you'll have the peer review groups. What does this mean? It means that these are the people, this is the person you'll be working with. So for example, we have Alexis is going to work with Ethan. This means that Alexis is going to review Ethan's draft and Ethan is going to review Alexis' draft. Okay, so make sure that you check this list first before you start the peer review next week. Just as a reminder, your first draft is due in that Google folder by the end of the 7th, which is Tuesday. So by Tuesday midnight, you should have your draft uploaded to that Google Drive. Now, here is the Google Drive. So this is Unit 1 drafts. And let's assume you've finished your file, your draft, and you want to upload it. If you don't know how to do that, so you'll click on the link from here, okay? And then you will upload your file from your computer. New, file upload, and then you pick the file. Let's say I'll use this one. This is my draft, okay? Now, as you can see, this is still a Word file. But in order for you to comment and peer review each other's drafts, this file has to be in a Google Doc form. So how would you do that? Just double click on it. That's it. Okay, as you can see, it's going to open it in Google Docs format. Here we go. And you'll see because you all have editing privileges in that folder, so you can edit, you can add comments and whatnot. Now, 2 things you need to do. Number 1, change the name of your file here with your first name. So since we used Ethan and Alexis as an example, so we're going to use Ethan, first name, don't use last name. And then after that, Unit 1. Why are we doing this? For a very simple reason. You need to find your peer's draft. So how are you going to find your peer's draft if you cannot see their name on the file? Okay? And this again will help me find your drafts right away when I'm doing my feedback. So this is now that document is ready for your peer review. Now, if you go back to here, you'll see that I have some guidelines. You'll click on this, it will open the file for you, or you can download it to your computer and then open it. Okay, so here you have the guidelines. You have a table here that you'll copy, so copy and then you paste it. So here is Ethan draft. You'll go at the very end of Ethan's draft or your peer's draft and you will paste that table, and then you can, here you can, okay, no, he doesn't have this, he had that, yes, he had this, he had this, and no, this is not complete, whatever, okay? And then after that, you'll see that you have some questions. You should address at least 3 of these questions in your peer review. You will read the question very carefully and then you will make a comment either in the margin or at the end. At the end means that you put your cursor here and I don't think this draft has enough details, for example, okay? The good thing about Google Drive, you don't need to save because it saves automatically. So once you finished your comments, everything is saved, you're good to go. Now, if you want to leave a comment in the margin, for example, I want to make a comment about this part or a sentence or a paragraph or whatever, you highlight the part that you want to comment on, and then you click here and you'll see the sign, add comment, okay? Of course, it will come with your name, and if you have a photo attached to your Gmail account, it will show here. You will put your comment. This is a strong sentence, for example, okay? You finished writing your comment and then don't forget to click on comment. Otherwise, that comment will not be posted, you see here. Now, this is how you're gonna do the peer review. You look at the guidelines, you read through your peer's draft, try to be very mindful, try to be very helpful. Just put yourself in the shoes of your peer. It's like, okay, what kind of feedback I'd like to receive on my draft? I'd like to receive feedback that I can use to revise my draft and take it to the next level. So give the same kind of feedback you're expecting from your peer to your peer. Okay, so this is how you're gonna do it. Two things to consider after you finish. Number one, when you have received the feedback, now this is your draft, you have received the feedback comments from me, from your peer. I'm gonna give my feedback on the same document. Number one, make sure you download that file with all the comments on it. Why? Because you're gonna use it in your e-portfolio at the end of the semester. One of the requirements of the portfolio is to put drafts with peer review and your teacher's feedback. So how do you do that? From file, okay, download, and then Microsoft Word. Okay, so you will save that file to your computer. Now this is Ethan, Unit 1. You want to put here, for example, peer review or feedback or whatever, something to make it identifiable. Okay, and then you'll choose a folder in your computer, maybe for that course or whatever, and save. You will use that file later, as I said, near the end of the semester when you start putting together your portfolio. So make sure that you download and save that file with all the feedback you've received from me and from your peer. Second thing is, some of you like to jumpstart the revision right away once they have received the peer review comments and my feedback, or just the peer review comments. So they start looking here, it's like, okay, I like that comment, I'm not gonna change anything here. And then they click here to resolve and hide that comment. Please don't do that, okay? Why? Because I need to go into your files, into your documents, and read the peer review comment that you've received and made so I can grade them. Remember that the peer review worth 10 points of the grade for this assignment. So I want to make sure that I go in and read the comments, see if they actually are following the guidelines, are answering the questions in the guidelines and things like that. So do not resolve these comments, okay? If you want to start working on your file right away, download it, as I said here, download another one maybe, okay, and maybe save it as, okay, Ethan Unit 1 final, because you'll start working on this file and make it into your final draft, okay? So don't work on the one that you downloaded as peer review, because you'll need that one with its comments and everything. And don't resolve the comments right away, because I need to see them first for grades. Okay, so this is how you will do the peer review. This is a process that we'll use for the entire semester, so it's not just for unit 1, but I'm demonstrating it for you this time so you can follow it for unit 1, unit 2, unit 3, unit 4. And if you look here, you'll see, for example, we have unit 1 drafts, unit 2, unit 3, unit 4, because this is how we'll be doing peer review, my feedback, everything for all the assignments in this course. Let me know if you have any questions on Slack or email or whatever, and start working on your first draft because it's due next week. See you.